Breaking news now, LA Sheriff's deputies in pursuit of a reckless driver, and Desmond Shaw is overhead live in SkyCal. Looks like they're driving pretty fast, Des.
Boy, they sure are here, Pat. Triple-digit speeds as we make our way into West LA, westbound on the 10. This one's come quite a distance already out of the San Gabriel Valley. It began with sheriff's deputies out of the Temple City area, and you see the spotlight over there from their helicopter. They're trying to get CHP in place right now. Their watch commander actually does not want sheriffs to re-engage with the vehicle, but we heard their airship asking if they could stay in surveillance mode until they're able to get CHP in place, and they did grant them that. So we're waiting to see if CHP will be engaging them soon. You see them right there coming into the shot there. So we're just going to see if CHP gets involved in this. But these kind of really high speeds with someone that they have reason to believe is under the influence of something, or at the very least driving pretty fast. And we are barreling towards Pacific Coast Highway there with sheriffs overhead. Nobody yet on the ground. Pat, Mike.
Oh, Des, do we know if there's more than one person in this vehicle?
We have not heard yet how many people are in the car, but it is a Mitsubishi SUV. Kind of rare to see modern Mitsubishis out there on the road these days. I believe SUV is one of the only vehicles that they make anymore in the United States, so that they sell here anyway. But at this rate, and I think we got the dark tint, as we pretty much always do with these pursuits, but we are headed towards Pacific Coast Highway. I was wondering if they were going to, they flew westbound so fast through into downtown. I thought that maybe that's where they were going to try to lose the police, but not the case. They continued westbound, pedal to the metal here. So in pretty much record timing, like 5 minutes from the East LA interchange over to this point. And looking like they might exit the freeway here. Let's see if they're going to go into downtown Santa Monica, or if they're going to continue on to northbound Pacific Coast Highway. But again, still no one on the ground on this one. Haven't heard yet if CHP is even taking this, and if they're ready to move into position yet.
I'm almost, okay, Des, no, I'm looking at another vehicle there. He's still on the freeway. I'm just wondering, it's kind of surprising, not a lot of traffic. I mean, some, but more than I think you would expect at this time of night. But not a lot of people on the road, at least where this person is driving.
Yeah, no, and we're running out of freeway here. I mean, it is getting a little bit late. A lot of the holiday stores are closing as we make our way through the McClure Tunnel. So let's see them come out the other side here. Hopefully, we've seen vehicles kind of pull fast ones like this before, but no, believe that is them right there. Yep. So we are now making our way into Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, northbound Pacific Coast Highway. And so, now things definitely going to get a little bit more interesting as we transition from freeway to, basically huge surface street with cross traffic and lights. And we've definitely got some busy stoplights here. Let's hope this suspect's going to slow down for him at the very least.
I was going to say probably even certainly more traffic in that area, considering where we're talking about here on Ocean Avenue. A lot of businesses lining the street there. Well, that was pretty close. Yeah, now they're going too fast, really, to be on a surface street like that in a business area and residential area as well. So
yeah, this is really ridiculous.
And you still don't see anyone on the ground behind him, any law enforcement on the ground.
Do not see law enforcement from the ground, and now they've kind of lost. Well, I don't know if they just turned the spotlight off or what. If they're trying to get this person to calm down, because really just you can say extremely agitated, driving super crazy into the gas station now. What's the plan here?
Back door's open.
Through the gas station parking lot and down out here onto Entrada. So now this is going to wind up as the suspect gets ready to go underneath us, kind of back towards, depending on what they do here. But definitely getting into some dark but very nice neighborhoods here on the edge of Santa Monica and the Pacific Palisades. I believe Entrada, is going to start to get kind of windy here. And, I don't know if the suspect knows the area or what, but we're quite a ways away from where this began. But definitely getting into celebrity territory as far as, really you're going to start to see some really, really nice homes here in the getting into the shot as we're now going up Entrada, up towards Sunset Boulevard, Pacific Palisades.
Hold on for a second, Des, because Mike, you said you saw a back door open?
Yeah, when they pulled into the gas station, the rear passenger's door opened up
Oh.
very quickly, and then they closed it. I don't know if the person in the back seat thought they were going to stop at the gas station and they were going to get out and run, but when they kept going through the gas pumps, they closed the door again. I really quickly want to tell you, Pat, CHP, the supervisor, the sergeant of the West LA station, has said CHP units are not to get involved in this. They will allow the helicopter to track it from the air, but CHP does not want any involvement on the ground.
Oh, why do you think that is?
The want, probably. The want wasn't very significant at the time, and by the time it reached the West LA office, the sheriff's deputies had kind of backed out and they were only in tracking mode. And certainly now that we're on surface streets, CHP is not going to get involved.
Well, and you know what, too, Des, Mike really just kind of made a confirmation for us that there was more than one person in that car for sure if someone opened the back door. We don't know exactly how many.
Yeah, very
but
perceptive there. Yeah, I was not able to see that very quickly. So, boy, I mean, if there's someone else in there, maybe they just wanted to get out and might be hanging on for dear life with the person that is driving right now. So, yeah, so it sounds like there is more than one person in the vehicle. And we're now out onto San Vicente coming through Santa Monica again. And onto Ocean Avenue. So, okay, now we're right there up above Pacific Coast Highway coming into downtown Santa Monica where we have a lot of restaurants, a lot of dense apartment buildings. Could still have a lot of people out here walking around on Margarita Avenue. So we're not very far away from the 3rd Street Promenade, even though it is getting, kind of late. It's a pretty nice evening out there. Could definitely have some pedestrians. So still pretty scary pursuit here. Still 60 miles an hour on these little residential streets. I think the posted speed limit's like 25 here, and just kind of aimless. I was thinking maybe they were going up into the hills or something, but now we're kind of backtracking towards, we're kind of paralleling the 10 right now, but as we head eastbound, so north of the 3rd Street Promenade, in between Wilshire and San Vicente, if you know Santa Monica right now, and then making another southbound turn. So this, I think 7th would actually take us back to the 10 if the suspect wanted to do that, but sheriffs with their, it's kind of an interesting thing. So we still have, even though we don't have anyone really in pursuit, the sheriff's helicopter unit, I know for a fact, they like to stick with these. They don't like to give these up. And we've definitely heard the frustration that in their voice when watch commanders tell them to cancel pursuits. They really don't like seeing this kind of stuff going on and thinking that these people are going to get away with it, and they're the ones who it sounded like tried to get CHP involved. Now we know that CHP doesn't want to get involved in this, blowing through these stop signs down on 6, so right down here in the midst of downtown Santa Monica. But man, this is just crazy. But they've still got the spotlight on, and wow, look at that! Almost had a replay of the pursuit crash that we had yesterday in North Hollywood or a couple of days ago. So oh boy, just
that's getting
pretty crazy here,
now.
and we'll see how much longer this is going to go on. But the watch commander not letting anyone get involved on the ground. CHP's not involved, but sheriffs still maintaining their spotlight on the suspect.
Okay, well, certainly people in the neighborhood are wondering what's going on, and hopefully they are, keeping their ears and eyes open for this vehicle that is driving very fast for this kind of area where there's still a lot of people. Probably folks just ending shopping, going to restaurants, having a little nightcaps, a little Christmas cheer here and there. But seeing this vehicle driving so fast, and as you said, aimlessly, Des, they're slowing down a little bit now. I've just been interested in the moves that he's made in terms of the turns when you think, does he actually know where he's going? And I keep saying he, we haven't confirmed that either, but we do believe that more than one person is in this car, as Mike saw the back door open. Now he's at Lincoln Boulevard. So he's making some...
Yep, coming back down towards the 10. And we'll see...
He's in some traffic now.
At a stop. Oh. Backing up a little bit. Oh, wow. Kind of backing up pretty quickly there. Burning a little bit of rubber into reverse. There's that door, like you said, Mike. Boy, whoever's in the back, I think they want to get out of the car is what it really looks like. And I don't blame them. If they were in the vehicle with someone driving so bonkers as this, I would be wanting to get out of the vehicle as well. So Olympic Boulevard here, still on the edge of downtown Santa Monica. And this is going to actually put us right back onto the 10 freeway. So we're going to go through the McClure Tunnel again. But I've heard that the frequency goes silent and the spotlight as well. And I'm thinking maybe now, well, if they're letting the vehicle go on this one, I think they might just be letting it go. I think it's just getting too dangerous for everyone out here, and we don't see the spotlight anymore or hear them talking on the frequency. So as much as they really hate to see this, especially up in the helicopter, it looks like this one might be getting away, and without the aid of the spotlight, and it's kind of get difficult for us to find it up here as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Des, you know, we did hear LASD Aero has been told to 1022 as well, so they are no longer, according to their watch commander, even though that person is right there and you have eyes on him still, now on PCH, the sheriff's airship has been told not to continue to follow them. And that's, you know, unfortunately kind of what happens. And you express the frustration from Sheriff's Aero. That does happen frequently. They really, really want somebody to come take this person who is not following the law, who is running from police. And because of the want and the risk-reward factors that the Sheriff's Department and other agencies have to deal with, they just simply don't think it's worth it. So we'll see. But yeah, as you mentioned, Des, I'm looking at that sheriff's ship that's clearing to the south. There are no ground units on it. SkyCal still has eyes on it, but from a law enforcement perspective, it does not appear that anybody else has any interest in bringing this guy to a stop.
Yep, it's definitely something we've seen become more common in recent years as we've looped back around, blowing right through PCH and Entrada. Now we're northbound headed up towards Pacific Palisades. So, but who knows where they're headed? But hopefully now they'll at least calm down that law enforcement is not actively pursuing them.
And just to reset for our viewers here, welcome to KCAL News at 10, along with Juan Fernandez, Mike Rogers at the desk, and Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal. Good evening, everyone. I'm Susie Sudd. This is breaking news. The pursuit of a reckless driver right now through Santa Monica. Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal to tell us how this all started. Desmond?
Yeah, so this started out of the San Gabriel Valley. It was LA County Sheriff's deputies from the Temple Division that began this pursuit. We first heard about it on the westbound 60, though, and just, you know, reckless driving, suspected DUI. They refused to pull over, and they actually did the opposite. They slammed on the gas pedal and just came plowing westbound 60, westbound 10 through downtown, and made it record timing from the 110 over towards just about the 405 when we picked it up. And we still had the spotlight overhead from the sheriff's deputies, but the watch commander had told the ground units to cancel the pursuit before we were even able to get on it. But the air unit really wanted to help bring this person into handcuffs tonight, and they tried to get CHP involved. And at first it sounded like maybe CHP was going to acquiesce, but they changed their mind. That risk-reward thing that Mike was just talking about, they just didn't think that it was going to be worth it. But the sheriff's helicopter stuck with it for a really long time. And I don't know if they were trying to get a hold of Santa Monica or if they even have that capability because they have encrypted radios in Santa Monica. But they were never able to get any law enforcement agencies engaged in this. And we saw some pretty wild driving, especially in downtown Santa Monica, up to 60, 70 miles an hour on some of those small one-lane streets. And so we're on Sunset Boulevard, just kind of watching this vehicle, just hoping that they're going to get out of the vehicle at some point and end the danger to everyone out here in the community. But and someone apparently in the back seat as well that has wanted to get out of the vehicle on a couple of different occasions, but this car has not stopped long enough for that person to get out. So we believe there's someone in the, and I believe it was the rear passenger door that was open there. So we believe at least two people in the car at this Mitsubishi crossover as we are out on world-famous Sunset Boulevard. And I mean, we still got some, fairly not as insane driving as we saw earlier, but still pretty dangerous out here, Juan, Susie, and Mike.
Yeah, pretty dangerous, kind of aimlessly as well, and at high rates of speed. And we keep seeing this driver blow through every red light that he comes to and just slowing down for just a tick before they take off again. And Mike, we understand now this is it's being considered a monitoring or a following, or what are we looking at?
Following by us, really. I mean, there is no law enforcement on the ground or in the air. They have pulled off the helicopter. The sheriff's helicopter, as Des was mentioning, trying really hard to get anybody they could involved, and nobody wanted it. And then eventually the watch commander for Temple City told the sheriff's helicopter that, hey, go away. You guys also got to pull off of this. So at this point, there is nobody following this, no law enforcement. SkyCal's just us.
Wow.
SkyCal's got eyes on it. They even had at one point, they launched the CHP helicopter from Fullerton, And when the CHP sergeant said, no, we're not getting involved, the CHP helicopter turned around, let the sheriffs hang out with it for a little bit longer, and then the sheriffs were told to get off of it as well. So in all likelihood, and almost 100% guaranteed, this person will get away tonight. And the original want was a reckless driver slash DUI. Sheriffs uses the same radio code for that want. But, you know, of course, it's always begs the question, what else is going on here? If it's just, you know.
What are they running from?
What are they running from? Right, exactly. And there's multiple people in that car, at least that we've seen that rear door open. So whatever these people did or were wanted for originally, it looks like tonight they'll probably get away unless they happen upon LAPD. This is their jurisdiction now. So if they're in LAPD's area and LAPD decides they want to get involved as this dangerous driving continues. Now wrong way.
Oh, on the wrong side.
PCH.
Oh, geez.
Oh, corrected
Nice.
it.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely bonkers here. Back out southbound on Pacific Coast Highway there. I mean, fortunately there was a red light, but I mean, it could have been a head-on collision there very easily. Back at 75, 80 miles an hour down here.
Another red light.
Pacific Coast Highway. Yeah, and through another red light. I mean, fortunately, we don't have any pedestrian crossings here. They're all elevated, those elevated walkways that go between Palisades Park and the beach, but still just really ridiculous stuff here as we're now, looks like, making our way by the California Incline and back towards the 10 Santa Monica Freeway. I mean, you would think that they would just be content with the, you know, what looks like, unfortunately, a victory for them, not being pursued by law enforcement at this point. But they just continue, and if they're maybe headed back to where this all began, I mean, now we're circling back to the eastbound. They stay here in the left lane, so this will take us back onto the Santa Monica Freeway, out of Santa Monica, and back towards LA proper and beyond.
Mike, we know law enforcement monitors SkyCal quite a bit. Do you think they're doing that right now? Are they just seeing what's happening here, whether or not they should re-engage at some point?
Right. You know, I know CHP for sure does keep an eye on us when we're on these pursuits like this, but right now we're not on anything that CHP would really get involved in. If they get back on the 10, CHP might. But, you know, this already went through the East Los Angeles CHP area, the Central Los Angeles CHP area, and the West LA CHP area, and sergeant after sergeant after sergeant declined it. And simply because of that want, because it was not wanted for a violent crime. It was not even wanted for, you know, truthfully, if he pulled over, reckless driving is not even a felony. You know what I mean? So it's
that's what makes you wonder why
right,
they're running.
Right. It could have been a ticket, right? Unless they've got something else going on, which is usually more than likely the case here. But because officially all the want is reckless driving, then nobody really wants to get involved because we're going at now almost 100 miles an hour on the 10 freeway. Now that we're back on the 10 freeway, you know, the sheriff's helicopter, even though the sheriff's helicopter is not over this, our pilots are communicating with each other, and sheriffs knows where this car is at based on where we are at. So there could be a possibility that sheriff's helicopter will give one more plea to CHP now that he's back on the freeway, but they've already declined it a couple of times. I don't know that they're really going to get back involved unless something super dramatic happens.
Well, they have the license plate,
I was
right?
just going to say,
So
could
that's
this
a good
be a
thing.
case of they already know who it is
Right.
and they're comfortable with that? So we'll catch up to them later.
And Temple City, who started it, will go, you know, try to figure out where those guys live and, you know, see what the deal is.
Yeah.
Are they slowing down a little bit here?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like they are.
Looks like
Excellent.
they are.
Off the freeway here and slowing way down. There we go. Okay, and then
pulling
say,
over
please
even.
let me out. Please let me. Oh, 2 doors open. One,
Yeah, there we go.
2. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 people out.
4.
Right here, they just parked right at the top of the on-ramp here off of the 10, dropped something, picked it back up off of the 10 and I believe the 20th Street exit here. So there were 3 people in the vehicle here, and they are trying to hightail it as fast as they can.
Running from nobody.
So out now onto, running from no one except us over here, but so out of 20th, right off of 20th and Pico, just south of the 10 freeway here, and into an apartment complex. And well, I'm not sure that any law enforcement was even aware of that, or if they're even interested in getting involved in this whole situation. But if this is where they live or what, but I mean, you know, they just, if that's their vehicle, they just left it in a place
Really
where
weird spot.
it's likely to get towed. You know, if it wasn't stolen or anything, you would think that would be kind of disconcerting to them. But the lights are still on as well. My pilot Dylan telling me now back in the back of this alley off of Michigan Avenue and 19th here on the edge of Santa Monica. So that's last place we saw him here underneath this carport. Okay, out
There
on
they
the
are.
alley.
They're
Now
coming
they're
out.
just going to kind of do that thing where now they're they're just out and walking, kind of acting like they're, you know, just any old people out here and not reckless driving.
Well, we
suspects.
lost one of them, right?
Right, yeah, and real quick, CHP, I'm listening to the radio, they're watching us, and they just notified the officers that they exited. Now they're trying to see if they can get an airship back in the area. They're watching them run. They're watching our air. Des, can I ask you to put the locator bar back up there? They're you know, listening to and watching where these guys are at, you know, to try to get that airship back in the area.
You know, when they have that airship, Mike, you know, of course, they'd be privy to where they're at and they can give that location to the ground units. But we have no ground units here.
No ground units.
As far as we know, and no one in the air except for us right now. And so
He's jumping a wall now.
yeah, it might be a little bit more difficult for them to find without any, you know, lights on this either. The night sun often helps in a search like this as well. But it looks like they're going back and forth from these buildings, which could make it very difficult for officials to find them. You know, if they perhaps even, you know, knock on someone's door and go into someone else's apartment, you know, and hide out there, who knows? But it doesn't look like any ground units are arriving here yet.
No, I hear them talking about it. I think we're in the city of Santa Monica still.
There they
CHP,
are. There's a couple up there.
CHP is asking to notify Santa Monica PD of where they're at.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe that is Santa Monica PD down here to the
Yeah,
left.
there they are.
Coming down here, and so they're pretty close. But let's see, they were last we saw right back in I think this car park right down in here, and hopped over a wall. And boy, yeah, I mean the authorities did respond pretty quickly, but this is kind of the other thing when, you know, there's nobody there right behind the suspect at the moment, and you give them a couple of minutes like this, it could be it could be an eternity for a suspect to find a place to hide. But we'll see if they seal down this area and try to bring those two. They split off. There were three. We were following the driver and one of their friends there, but the third one we didn't see where that third person went off. We wanted to at least stick with the driver, the one who was driving like a lunatic around Santa Monica. Oh, there they are, I think. Yep, right back here. Peekaboo. Back over the wall where they first jumped out, so we'll see if we can go back over into the alleyway and see them. So in the alley here behind 19th and Michigan, I think. We'll put up the map tracker again and see Delaware and 19th. It's out that apparently that is actually a street being called Michigan Avenue. It looks like an alley, but apparently a through street. So I just saw them down here. So still kind of hanging out in this area right here. And we'll see if Santa Monica sees them.
Yeah, and the fact that they're not going inside an apartment or a house
they don't live
leads
there.
me to believe they don't live there, they don't know
the
anybody
area.
here. And it's a good thing if you're near Michigan Avenue and Delaware Avenue, you're watching this broadcast, make sure that front door is locked, windows are down, because these people are looking for a place to hide out, and they're clearly not finding it here tonight. And is that nights on LAPDs? What is that, Mike?
That is just from another helicopter that's in the area. It's not law enforcement, though. There is a CHP helicopter that's on the way.
That's a passenger. There they are. Oh,
there
we
they
go.
are.
Yeah, it's that white T-shirt. Yeah.
Well, they are out here in plain sight. So just kind of, and you know, pretty easy description here. White shirt, black shorts. That was the driver.
White sneakers.
And one of two passengers, but
And Desmond, can you
that
see
other
the ground
passenger
units?
split up from him.
Getting any closer to them?
Well, now they're. I
there's
think
one right there.
there's a unit right there.
Okay.
So as we come around, we'll see here. They might. There's the passenger
That almost
where
looks like a
the.
female.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is, but. Well. Okay, now I've got the female here. The driver was right in this area, and you had that unit right up there. Well,
There he is, against the
try to
bushes.
s-
Back against
okay.
that street, Des.
Oh, he was in the bushes.
Yeah, back. He's walking up that sidewalk now, right underneath of that tree. He should pop out the other side of the tree.
There he is.
There he is.
Ah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And this is the one we want to stick with as much as possible is the driver, since they were obviously responsible for all of the crazy driving that we saw. So
So dark,
that
huh,
third
Des?
person we saw split off. Say again, Juan?
So dark. Those streets are so dark.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I've got my camera up. I do it one more level here.
That's a little better,
There
yeah.
we go. But just out here casually walking
Yeah.
around.
It looks like they
And
separated
you see
too.
that? They did. So now all three of them are separate, and his female companion kept going down
Just walk by that
Michigan
unit.
Avenue, and then And the third, and there's a light coming up right. Is that from lawn? No, that's just from somebody else. But yeah, kind of a almost like a cue the Benny Hill music here right now. I'm kind of surprised that Santa Monica hasn't moved in yet on
They're not
on
watching
the driver.
KCAL News at 10.
Exactly.
Apparently not. But you know, one of those, the other two are likely to get away at this point, especially that first one that we saw break off immediately. I wonder if that was the person in the back seat who was trying to practically jump out of the moving vehicle earlier. But this guy just out here strolling around. Beautiful streets of Santa Monica, probably taking in the sea air. We hear that they may have a unit coming in though, so maybe we're going to see something happen here within the next minute or so.
And as Desmond mentioned, we're staying with the driver of this pursuit.
I see lights.
It is coming now. It looks like he does see that.
Hands
so
up.
His hands are up. Yep, he's cooperating.
Whoa, what do you mean? Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm just out here enjoying Santa Monica, guys. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's complying.
Yes.
That's
The
a
camera,
good thing.
The camera,
Kinda.
yeah,
He's like laying on his
but
side.
the camera doesn't lie, and you know the other two. We'll see what happens with the other two, but we got the driver, the most important one, and after we thought they had a pretty high probability of getting away, it's that tree getting in the way as usual. We are actually going to see this person in handcuffs tonight. So, kind of a surprise ending after what we saw earlier.
You know, these pursuits, you think you'd seen them all, and then something new happens, and there's a twist, and we're seeing one tonight where, you know, he could have stopped, but he didn't, and then he abandoned a car, whether it's his or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
And now he's in cuffs.
So that person that you saw walking up there that was recording video really quick, I saw him talking to the Santa Monica cops.
Okay.
So I wonder if he alerted those police officers that this was a pursuit suspect.
Interesting. Well, it looks like he is in handcuffs now, and the driver of the car that was being pursued is now under arrest. And the search continues now, we believe, for two others who were inside that car. But looks like this pursuit is coming to an end near Santa Monica. The reckless driver now under custody.
Yeah, looks like they're searching his pockets, they're counting some money,
looks like a
and
bunch of cash.
the investigation here continues. All right, it's code 4 out there.
Yeah.
All right.